Hello, everybody. It is April 14, 2023, Friday. So I have several things to talk about on this video. So one of the things that I want to talk about is I just went for, number one, I got a tax refund back. It wasn't a lot, of course, but because it wasn't a lot. But I developed a health issue a couple months ago, and I waited it out to see if it was going to get better, and it hasn't got better, so I need to get a scan. And of course, since we started a new fiscal year, I met my deductible last year. But I'm still paying on medical bills from last year that I had, because I had to have a procedure done last year. It was an outpatient procedure, and I had to have two done, two different ones, and they were very expensive, and I'm still paying those off monthly. And I also, but I need to have this scan done, and I find it awful strange that the price for the scan is exactly my refund amount I got on my taxes back. Exactly the refund amount. And I also got a call from the place that they wrote the scan from, that you have to go to a different, it's usually an imaging place you have to go to get a scan. And they called from the hometown where all of this stuff happened, and that's how I got in the program. Even though I'm an hour away from that place, and I haven't lived there in years and years. At least 6 years I haven't lived there. Let's see. 7 years now I haven't lived there, and they called me from there, with a number, an area code from the hometown where all of this, how I got into the program, where the lawsuit stemmed from. The abusive lawsuit stemmed from. I'm getting a call from them. Let's see. Did you think somebody put them up to doing that? And it's just exactly almost to the dollar how much I got my refund for. Yeah, they're not monitoring my phone or anything, are they? Wrong, they are. They know everything I do on my phone. Every single thing I do on my phone or any electronic. And it's not so much that the phone itself is hacked, which I think it is, but also too, they hack your internet service. So just like I explained before, they'll get another modem, and they'll be logging in under your in your account with another modem, and you can't see it. So that's what they're doing to me. I really need to get this scan. I don't know how I'm going to work it out, because usually it's free when you get my age, the scan is. But since they're looking for something in particular, then it's a lot more. So, and I can't pay for it, so I had to cancel it because I can't pay for it. And I know I said I got my tax money, but I did something else with it. I had a bill to pay, so I had to pay it. So, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I really need this scan, because they're going to be looking, I don't know. I mean, it don't matter, because once you meet the deductible, after you meet the deductible, sure, you're not paying the whole bunch out of your pocket. You're not paying $500 or $600 out of your pocket. But then you're only paying the 80-20. But 20% can be a lot if you have a big bill. Let's say you have to do some kind of outpatient procedure, some kind of small surgery or something. So you're looking probably at $10,000 or more dollars, 15 maybe, and so, and 20% of that is a lot. I mean, I'm still paying on the last time. I haven't got them all paid off. I can't even pay my rent hardly. They've got me where I can't even hardly pay my rent anymore. The rent went up so much now that I'm not paying my rent the whole thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. But I don't think, they're looking, what they're going to be looking for in the scan is cancer, but I don't think I have cancer. I just think I have some kind of infection, which don't make no sense to me. Why don't they just give me the antibiotics, put me on that at least, until they figure out, well, what, maybe, at least I'm being treated for that just in case. And then if I have cancer, they can treat for that. But if I don't have cancer, then I'm all taken care of because they already gave me the antibiotics. I've been to 2 doctors already, and none of them have prescribed antibiotics. It's not like I'm asking for this is how they don't treat TIs, you see. They don't treat TIs. I mean, I need the antibiotics. Why don't they just give me that and clear it up? You know what I mean? They could have just prescribed the antibiotics. They don't have to give the strongest dose. They just give me some to see if it makes me feel better while they're waiting for me to get the scan. That's what makes more sense. It's not like it's a narcotic. It's antibiotics, for God's sakes. I mean, and it's not like I take a lot of antibiotics. I haven't had any antibiotics in years. So why don't they just prescribe me some while I'm waiting? That would make more sense. But because I'm a TI, they're not going to do that, you see, because I'm targeted, and because it was a medical person that I filed the lawsuit against, I'm being harassed and I'm not being treated fairly. Because you know how they all stick together, just like the fire department and the police department and all that. And how did it come to be exactly what my refund was? The scan. So there you go. And how did the phone number come up from the same I'm not even in that. I'm in a major city. I'm not in that small town no more. So how'd the area code come up from the small town? I'm in the major city. So there you go. More harassment. Playing games with my health. And if there is something wrong with me, it's because they caused it by that black dust that they spread around my house with the fan. If you go back some videos a while back, I think it was last year, I put that in there. How I came home and there was this they used my fan to spread this black soot all over my house, all over my carpet, all over my house, and I've been breathing that. So there you go. These people are trying to kill me. They're not playing games. They're trying to kill me. So if I have an infection or if I have whatever I have, it's because they caused it. And they're always pouring stuff in my food. I woke up this morning with my ice cream in the refrigerator and all banged up on the side. I didn't leave it in the refrigerator. I left it in the freezer, but it was all banged up too. Like, that's one of the things they do to me. They bang all my canned goods up, smash all my tomatoes, smash all my food, pour some liquid in all of my food, on my bread, pour it on everything. I can't have anything very long before they don't want me to eat at all. They don't want me to live. So there you go. What kind of people, it's one thing to get revenge on somebody else for whatever you think that they did to you, and another thing to try to kill them. That's a whole nother ball game. You're in a whole nother ball game doing that. So there's that. I just wanted to put that out there. Oh yeah, and my air conditioning went out. Imagine that, on my apartment, and I burn up for like 3 days straight. It was like almost 100 degrees one day, and I had no AC in my apartment all day and all night. Finally, they fixed it. Today, supposedly. So, supposedly they put a new AC on. So, but with me, nobody around me, none of the other apartment people are calling as much as I have to call to get things serviced in my apartment. Nobody ever, I know for a fact that I talked to a few people here in the community, and they said that they've only called maintenance once or twice in the 2 or 3 years that they've been. 2 years he'd been here, he only called them twice. I must have called maintenance now about 30 times because they're always doing something in my apartment. It's always the water heater. Oh, and I've mentioned that how if you're a TI, how the water heater always floods or goes out or stops working. Well, that's happened in this apartment too now. And they had to replace the water heater here about a couple months ago. That's happened in every single apartment that I've lived in. The water heater either burst or something. That's because they come in and mess with stuff. And they break things, and you have to call maintenance. I think I've called maintenance more than anybody in the buildings. Because they're always breaking stuff. And how can every water heater in every apartment? That's not you. The statistics that mathematically is not. It can't happen. Every single apartment I lived in, I've had to call for the water heater, and I've had a water leak in every single apartment I've lived in, except for the one in Florida. That was the only. Well, I did have a water leak there, but it wasn't. It was in the air conditioning. But every single apartment I've had a water leak in, every single, and they had a hot water heater issue in every single apartment. Every single apartment. It didn't matter if it was refurbished. This one was refurbished when I moved into it. And so far they've changed the air conditioning, the water heater. I had a water leak, 2 water leaks, one in the kitchen and one in the storage room, which that's another thing too. They always make a water leak in the storage room. I'm hoping you won't notice it. And then it will cause mold. I've had one in there. Yeah, it's always something. They mess with all your plumbing all the time, constantly. So that's one of the things they do. I think I'm going to start making a list and posting all their tactics that they use against us, all the things that I've been through over the years. I'm going to make a posting about that. I want to do a video about that. All the things that I've experienced, I'm going to write it down. And I might not go into detail about everything. I'm just going to go through the list and read off what I've been through. In the 20 plus years I've been a TI, I'm going to read off all the things that I've been through. And I'm also going to I'm also going to list the things that I go through in cycles all the time, where it's reoccurring constantly, like the water heater. That's reoccurring constantly. Plumbing issues reoccurring constantly. So I'm going to make a list of the recurring things so you can compare it to your list. Are you going through these reoccurring things all the time? And if so, how often? I think everybody should make this list. Let's see what the similarities are in the program. So if we could get this list and the similarities, we're not saying it's not something that we can, it's something we can prove. It's tangible because it's something that's happening that you can prove if you've had to call maintenance or had to get it. If you own a home, you have to pay for the repair. So I think we should all make a tangible list on a video of all the things that's reoccurring. For instance, you could go down the list and say water heater, twice. Once in this year and give the year, and once in this year, give the year. Or whatever, and then go to the next thing, like kitchen sink, under plumbing, this. If we can all if we can all have similarities for those issues, that could prove a lot. That proves a lot. How can we all be going through the same issues? All the time. What about the hole cutting and stuff? I think we need to start talking about things that are tangible and that we can prove, not things that we can't prove, like demons and ghosts and goblins and witches. And, I know that a lot of people think this is demonic. I don't believe in demons, but I do understand what you mean, that it's evil. It's an evil program, and there is light and dark, so I do believe in that. But we can't prove that. That's something that just sounds too far out. We can't prove that. We can prove, if we're having to call for repairs all the time. We can prove that. So let's do that. That makes more sense. It's something we can prove. All right. Peace and love.